This is kvci.blogspot.com, George Boston Rhymes. I want to talk about the jail deaths that have occurred in the Valdosta-Lowndes County Jail. Last City Council meeting in Valdosta, Georgia, where the new mayor, Gail, Councilman Wright, Councilman Yokes, Councilman White, Councilman Payton, Councilman Norton, Councilman Carroll, and Councilman Sonny Vickers are sitting on that council. And I talked about the jail deaths, and I talked about an inmate that allegedly died on May 8th, 2010, yet the general public knows nothing about it. I told them that I had a video wherein I met with some people that know, and that an elected official possibly knew about this death, but has not reported it to the general public. I also talked about the canal with no protection device to keep children from falling into it as it is being worked on. I talked about the 153 years that blacks and poor whites have been locked out of contracting jobs, and therefore this may be a reason why so many people are committing crimes, because their families can't find gainful employment. I also talked about the first floor of City Hall, wherein there are no black African-American buildings or pictures of black African-Americans displayed. I had brought that up before council over 2 years ago, and nothing has been done about it. It is like as if though we are non-existent, the citizens and voters, I mean, throughout the South Georgia area, if you're black or a poor white person. And it is indeed sad to tell that story in 2012. I also talked to the council about something needs to be done to put a stop to the deaths in the jail, because Valdosta and Lowndes County are leading the state of Georgia in jail deaths. Now, they push citizens to be heard on most all government meetings in Valdosta and Lowndes County. They push the citizens to the last item on the agenda, which means no one can respond to you. Even the council members' area to speak is before the citizens. So that means it gives the impression that they don't want to hear nothing that the voters has to say until election time. And I think that that is a disgrace, and I'm 100% certain that one day we're going to vote some people into office who respect the citizens, number one, the voters, number two, our sons and daughters, number three, and the rest will be a changing of the guards. Now, I know that's going to happen. I know it. I'm 100% certain, because there is no way in the world that our elected officials can continue to push the voters around in such disrespectful fashion as it is now being done. I just don't believe it. If this continues, and if nothing changes, then I must admit, if I could undo my 20 years in the armed forces, I would do it. And I would tell my children and my grandchildren and great-grandchildren never to go into the armed forces of these United States when we have our news ignored and when we are pushed to the end of the agenda and our elected officials does not respond to what we say. And that's what happened when I spoke. They didn't say nothing, absolutely nothing about that at the meeting. Now look, on May 5th, 2005, listen to this now. We wanted to get a park name in Valdosta. And I told the mayor and council that it would be changed. I knew it, just like I'm 100% what I just told you. I was 100% sure, and I told the mayor and council that if you all don't change it, there will be better men and women that our God would come and put somebody on council that would change. So eventually they changed that. But look, 15 of us were arrested just for trying to get Barbara Park name changed. Now, who was Barbara? Mr. Barbara was a white man, we understand, to make it short, who kept blacks out of that park. And in the 70s, when integration came, rather than have blacks to go to that park, he closed, the park closed down, the 2 artesian wells were covered up, and Sonny Vickers on the council knew about this. And so look, because we are not just playing Dr. King game, some of us never stop implementing the life and legacy of Dr. King and imitate. In other words, we actually do the work of Dr. King. We don't just meet and sell chicken bones and barbecue turtle eggs and tickets to raise money for our organization. And we need to stop that, in my most humble opinion. But look, 15 of us were arrested. The news media did not interview us. It was 15 of us. They didn't think enough to come and put a mic in front of our face and say, blah, 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 blah. Not even after we got out of the jail. Nobody met us. The preachers in Valdosta, let me repeat, the preachers in Valdosta did not come out to support us. Do you hear what I say? I don't know what's right or wrong with our preachers in Valdosta, but the majority of them seem like they are afraid as hell. Now you may ask me, Brother Ryan, why do you use such harsh words? Y'all know y'all say the same thing. Only difference between me and you is that you say it when you go to the bathroom to take a dump. Or you talk like I do when you just sit back and duplicate and play game, but I don't do that. I must tell the truth, and that's what I intend to do. So on May 5th, here's the name of the people that were arrested and taken to the Lowndes County Jail and stayed for over 24 hours without bail. And look, very little media attention was given that it wasn't just black folks, there was white people that were arrested also. Callie Fielding, female, white female. Lee Touchton, white female. Catherine Harris, a black female. Floyd Rose, F. Chasseray, Freddie Richardson, me, Jesse Clark, Mr. Mosley, Miss Mosley. She was a black female, by the way. Camion, black female. Miss Sherman, way up in age, y'all, over 70-something years old, if not 80-something. Black female arrested. Reggie Griffin, a young black man, Tony Daniels, Willie Hay, and Willie J. Robinson. All black people and white people arrested for the cause of justice and following the real dream of Dr. King. One more before I close. I want to call the roll, and I want the Justice Department, I want the Secretary of State of Georgia, I want the mayor, I want the county commissioners, and I want the citizens of Valdosta and Lowndes County. I want the pastors, I want the bishops, I want the imams, I want the rabbis, I want the priests, I want the kings, I want the sublime prince of the royal secret, I want the potentates, I want the junior warden, I want the sublime prince of the royal secret, I want the master masons, I want the fellowcraft masons, I want all of you, I want the common everyday citizen to listen to this roll call and ask yourself, why is it that even the Justice Department has turned thumbs down, apparently, on justice in America? Look, professors at BSU did a chorus of fear video. And in that chorus of fear video, they highlighted the fear that exists in Valdosta and Lowndes County. And you can Google a chorus of fear. Listen, Google a chorus of fear video and Willie James Williams. That's all you have to do. I may just put it on this clip, and you will see what has happened in the Valdosta and Lowndes County Jail. Let me call the roll. And by the way, Judge Hugh Lawson ruled in June of 1996 that the Lowndes County Board of Commissioners correct the 105 violation that he identified and gave them 2 years to complete. I wrote the district attorney, I wrote the sheriff, I wrote the secretary of state, I wrote the governor of the state of Georgia, not Deal, but some of the others, and I wrote them as well as the Justice Department, and absolutely nothing has been done. I asked them, why is it that no one followed up on that court order and consent decree? By the way, David Miller's district attorney, we wrote him. The guy that it's on my blog. He never responded. That's a matter of record. That's truth. That's truth. All I'm gonna speak is truth. Now let me call the roll in truth of those that died. By the way, if they would have followed and corrected that 1860, if they had completed that Civil Act number 89-54-VAL by Judge Hugh Lawson, there's a possibility that we wouldn't have 30 deaths from 94 to 2009, and from 2009 to date, we don't know how many done happened out there because it's all secret now. There was only 3 before Willie James Williams, only 3. But now, let me call the roll. 1994, Willard McFarland. 1995, Willie Lee Gay died in the Lowndes County Jail for whatever reason. 96, James N. Sterling. 1998, Willie James Williams. 2000, Ronnie Sonny Graham. 2001, Rosemary King. 2002, Richard William Oakley. 2002, Sandra J. Wallace. And I had to dig that name up, and well, anyway, that's another. Well, anyway, some of these people, relatives, are still working in law enforcement or in government agencies, and so they are afraid to talk about it. And you're gonna find down a little later, people have given their names, but don't want their names on YouTube, don't want their names on the blog, and so we accommodate that at the request of family members. But some of the public record, and I have added them on the panel, did not want me to do so. But I respect those who were staunchly against putting their names in public. Lisa Sanders, John Henry DeJohn, Anquites, that was a Spanish guy. Xavier's Wright, and Xavier's Wright is Councilman Wright's brother that died out in the jail. Bobby Stanford, Clarence Fender, George Hill Jr., and I traveled up to Tifton to his funeral. Lord have mercy. I can't understand why people that say they love Jesus Christ can be so cold and care less about human life and the loss of human life. I just can't understand it. Another individual, name withheld, request of family. Name withheld, request of another request of family. By the way, let me tell you, the one I just called, number 16 was black female. The name I'm not going to give here is a black male. Another one that I refuse to give is, I'm going to give his name, Joseph McFarland, for whatever reason. He died in the jail. Also another name, black male, died March 2008. Joel Smith, age 20, 2008. Michael Wayne Dixon died. Another withheld name at family request, he was a black male. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 are all withheld because of their job positions in their family that don't want their names mentioned. And so because they work in possibly the prison or the jail, I respect that, or some may already be involved in law enforcement, and so I refuse to print their name. But the county can give you the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey would say. Coming on down. 28, Nathan Sloan, age 42, died September 26, 2009. And we were told by an inmate that 2 others have died, but what happened with those 2 is that rather than increase the number of jail deaths, they sent those 2 individuals home to die. And in some cases, we are told they send them either to the hospital or they send them home, so the number will not be increased. But even better than that, they just came up and said, you don't have a right to know, and we are not subject to the Georgia Open Records Act, and so we don't know. But I'm here to tell you that as a follower of Jesus Christ, and all the good of Muhammad, and all the good of the followers of Moses, who was the son of Amram and Yoshabel, all who follow the goodness of Buddha, all who follow the goodness of all these great worthies, all of you who are under Islam, you are not my enemy, and I'm not your enemy. All you who are Catholics, I'm not your enemy, and you are not my enemy. Somewhere I read in the volume of sacred law, and ye shall know the truth, and that the truth shall set and make you free. You can back away from me, but I will never back away from you, because I love you too much. I love you too much to placate, duplicate, imitate, stagnate, and deviate when it comes down to showing the real respect for the life and for the legacy of Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., John Brown, Fitzgerald Kennedy, and others who travel that great line of Holy Divine. Unlike today's reverse patriots such as Rush Limbaugh, Bill O'Reilly, black female columnist Star Parker, Carol Thomas, and Mr. Ambrose, who all published negative venom about our 44th president of the United States of America. They call him a Hitler. They call him a clown. They call him every dirty name that you can think of. But President Obama has not sent a single person to the gas chambers. He haven't denied not one white person the right to vote, or the right to travel, or the right to sit in any restaurant, or the right to be a full-fledged human being. He haven't condemned anyone or assigned anyone to be considered 3/5 of a human being. That 44th president has never done such. But some of the other 43 all-white male presidents has done that, or they served while that law was in force. Yet you don't call them what you call President Obama. And you all make fun of the fact that his middle name is Hussein. Yeah, Rush Limbaugh and Glenn Beck make fun that his middle name is Hussein. They got a problem. I see them, they say during the election and get close to the election, they want people to call him Barack Hussein Obama. Glenn Beck said every time you refer to him as Barack Hussein Obama. They want that Hussein to stand out, as if though that's supposed to be disgraceful. Let me tell you what's disgraceful. What is disgraceful is for black folk that came to these shores in the year 1555 aboard a slave ship called Jesus, according to the Library of Congress. The Library of Congress, don't take my word for it, you Google it yourself, you check it out. We came to these shores aboard a slave ship called Jesus, captained by one Sir John Hawkins, a slave trader. Now look, we were stripped, and my ancestors were stripped of our name, our God, our religion, our mother tongue, our humanity, the self-respect of ourselves. We were disconnected from our own family members. And let me tell you this, since you are talking about Hussein in Barack Obama's name, George Boston Rhyme is not my name. This is a European name that was slapped on me. You took that right away from me. You took it, in history bears record that you took my name. So why are you talking about his middle name? When all black folk came to this country, we couldn't speak our mother tongue. We could not suck the breast of our own mother. What is the breath of our own mothers? The gold, the diamonds, the economic wealth of Africa that was stolen, even by the Catholic Church, other European warriors. And by the way, while we're at it before I close, black people need to educate themselves on the history of Africa. Number one, Africa is not the name of that continent. They took that from us as well. Africa is not Africa. Africa was a European general. Originally, Africa was called Ethiopia. It was called the land of the burnt-faced people. It was called Archival. But they took that away from us as a people. They took away the fact that our ancestors built the pyramids in Egypt and that we was one that civilized the entire world. Yeah, they don't want you to know that, because the scribes and the writers of the day want to keep you deaf, dumb, and blind to the time and unable to make intelligence. And we are the secret. We are the lost secret. We are the word that was lost. We are the people and the name that were buried beneath the rubbish pile that nobody wanted to accept. We were buried in a rubbish pile. We were hit in the head in the east of Africa, and we were brought a westerly course aboard a ship called Jesus. As we travel to North America, we are the rejected stones, and we are the stone that the builder rejected. But in God's due time, we will be resurrected